Back in video 54, I talked about how to determine your Tuller distance. Today, we're going to discuss why and what to do with that distance. So let's talk about it. Here's your armed citizen meme of the week. Screen cap it, crop it, and send it to everyone you know.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Before I get started with the content, I want you to know this is 100% human, 0% AI. I write my own scripts and I record my own videos. And while I got your attention, I'm going to ask what everyone else does. I'm going to ask that you like my video. I'm going to ask that you subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. And if you're feeling real generous, I have a buy me a coffee link. Toss a few coins my way so I can stay stocked in ammo. Let's get on with the content. I'm pretty sure you've heard of the Tuller rule or the 21-foot rule. For those who haven't, this was originally published by Salt Lake City police officer Dennis Tuller in 1983, who made two observations. One, it takes about a second and a half for a regular person, such as a police officer openly carrying a firearm, to draw their weapon and fire a single aimed shot. Along with that observation, an average person who is standing still can cross 21 feet in the same amount of time. So this is where the 21-foot rule comes from. The reason why I brought this up is I have recently heard of several self-defense court cases where this Tuller observation was invoked. Basically, the armed citizen actively defended themselves based solely on the attacker being within their Tuller distance. These defense cases came up because the armed citizens were convicted and are now in the custody of the state for a very long amount of time. Your Tuller distance is not a shoot, no shoot line. That's what got those armed citizens into trouble. The Tuller distance is where you must actively address perceived threats which get inside of that distance. If your threats are close to or inside your Tuller distance, your tactical girlfriend Prudence should be telling you to back up and get away so this threat remains outside of the Tuller distance. Your personal Tuller distance is based on how fast you can defeat your garment, draw your weapon, and fire an aimed shot. For me personally, my Tuller distance is not 21 feet. It's more like 35 feet because I'm old. I'm slower than I used to be, and I usually carry under a heavy EDC vest that I have to defeat to get to my weapon. You should determine your own. Before I go any further, I need to discuss Colonel Cooper's color codes. Say that 3 times fast. And the reason we need to discuss this first is so you can properly quantify the threats presented against you. The colors start at white for the lowest level of observation and readiness. White means that you have little to no awareness of what's going on around you. You feel totally safe, something like you're sleeping. Condition yellow is a relaxed awareness meant for when you're out in public. It just means that you're paying casual attention to the people and events around you. It's relaxed enough that you can stay in this condition for multiple hours without mental or physical exhaustion. Condition orange comes into play when you have detected someone to be of interest, not necessarily a threat. They are exhibiting behaviors that are not similar to the others around them. They're not doing what everyone else is doing around you and them. So, more intense observation is indicated. I suggest you read the book Left of Bang to understand more. Code red is when you have detected an imminent or active threat and your tactical girlfriend Prudence suggests immediately engaging the threat and not with a ring. So how does this tie together? What does a potential threat being inside of your Tuller distance really mean? In military terms, in OODA loop terms, a threat inside of your Tuller distance is inside your decision curve. It takes you a measurable amount of time to recognize the threat, assess the severity of the threat, decide on the proper course of action, and finally bring the appropriate hardware to bear to address the threat. If the threat can get to you before you have completed those steps, that means they can do serious or fatal harm to you before you can take the appropriate actions to interrupt their timer. Beyond what I already said, retreat from the threat. Prudence suggests when someone gets inside your Tuller distance, retreat away from the threat to keep them outside that Tuller distance. Issue loud commands for them to stop. Blockade their way by putting obstacles between them and you, and so on. Beyond this point, my suggestion is to consult with your lawyer who is knowledgeable on self-defense law in your state. I say this because laws and legal standards vary widely from state to state. In some states, if you perceive an active threat to yourself or others, drawing your weapon and holding it at low ready in the direction of the threat can be a reasonable and legally justified response. In other states, making like you're reaching for a weapon, even if you don't have one, and saying, I have a gun, is enough to put you in prison. In closing, the ultimate point of a Tuller distance is so you can recognize the point where you must actively deal with threats.
You shall not pass!
Retreating, verbal commands, less than lethal devices, and firearms as a last resort are your major options. You should be regularly practicing a draw from concealment and fire from your hip if the threat is already up on you. Please practice this hip draw and shoot with an empty weapon so you don't become the next Tex Grubner.
I just shot myself.
And please challenge yourself mentally because you never know when something like this will happen. And it always happens seriously faster than what you think it will. Y'all stay safe, stay bullet free, tell your family you love them every chance you get. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful day.
If you made it this far, thank you. If you liked this content, please hit the like button to show your support. Help me get the word out by subscribing to my channel, and don't forget to turn notifications on so you know when I post new content. If you think this content would help your friends, the share button helps you get it out to your social media. Comments mean a lot to me, good or bad. Please
please leave one. All right, go forth and have a most excellent day.